Welcome to the King and Chapman Show. It is Tuesday, July 9th. I am Brent Chapman, and with me, located currently in Plano, Texas, the original Fab One, Jimmy King.
B, it gets better every time. I appreciate that love. B, what's going on? Happy after 4th. How was your holidays?
Happy Independence Day. Happy after 4th of July. It's been hot outside. We survived a hurricane. We got the little, did you see that on the chart? We got the little tail at the back end.
The tail end of it. Oh, yeah, that's nothing.
So,
this
but
this
hurricane,
used to big
Jimmy,
storms.
This hurricane was big, and it was going, and then it was a tropical storm, and then it got going again, and it became a hurricane over land, and then started headed towards us. It was coming for us, Jimmy.
Yeah. But fortunately, we didn't get the brunt of it. So we just got kind of the remnants, a little rain here. Nothing too bad. The storms that came through about 2-3 weeks ago were way worse than what transpired over the weekend. But prayer goes out to families and friends that I have down in the Houston area who are still without power. So we send our thoughts and prayers out to them.
Yes, definitely, Jimmy. But hope that everyone is safe. So, Jimmy, though, did you watch on the 4th of July the famous Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest on the 4th?
I watched a little bit of it, but I can't stomach it, man. I just can't, like, for me to see everybody stuff their mouths like that. And I just wonder like what their evenings are like or how they sleep that night and what it's like the next couple of days when they have to, when that stuff transfers and goes through their digestive system into their bowels, and then what?
So Joey Chestnut had won 16 of the last 17, and there was rumors that he was going to bow out of the competition this year.
Well, they should just call it the Joey Chestnut Invitational.
Yeah, he usually eats like 100 hot dogs in however minutes it is. So this year the winner was Patrick Bertoletti. He gobbled up 58 hot dogs to win his first title. So Jimmy, I can't believe you didn't watch the hot dog eating contest. I didn't either because I find it to be absolutely.
I mean, I did watch the highlights of the winner, but again, I just can't stomach it. You know, I'm a light eater. People tease me about how I eat. There's always been something ever since high school.
All right, Jimmy, here's the deal. The next live away show that we do, especially one where there's food, we will have a hot dog eating contest live on the King and Chapman Show.
You will be doing that on your own.
Brent Chapman challenges Jimmy King to an 5 minutes all you can eat hot dogs.
Hey, I can't turn down from a challenge.
I think
I got to step up. If you challenge me to hot dogs, we got to cap it though.
Well, I mean,
like it's got to be a time limit.
How many hot dogs? I could maybe eat 2, maybe 3 in 5 minutes.
I got this one. I'll just eat 3.5. I'm good.
Joey Chestnut could eat 100 in 3 minutes. All right, that's enough.
Like just revolve in their mouths.
So, Jimmy, enough hot dog eating. Let's move on to sports topics, real sports topics of the day. And the big news in the last 24 hours has been that UConn coach Dan Hurley, who has led the Huskies to back-to-back championships and had a little flirtation with your guy, Rob Pelinka, for the Lakers head coaching job, which he turned down. Big surprise, got a new 6-year, $50 million extension. Now, he literally signed a new contract a year ago, flirted with the Lakers, was a massive $70 million contract, then came back and got an extension. I'm sure it was totally voluntary. So, Jimmy, I might be phrasing this the wrong way, but that seems a little suspicious. Do you approve of Dan Hurley's ruthless negotiating?
This is all business.
That's a
It's all
loaded
business. As
question,
long
though,
as
isn't it,
it's
Jimmy?
not illegal, it's always good to use your leverage. And that's what he did. Great job of using his leverage. Of even though we all knew that he wasn't going, or most of us felt like he wasn't going anywhere. And so he took the trip. He went out there, he vetted them, and came back and made it known right away, which made the people in UConn love him more. And that's the reason why they jumped on it. You have to lock somebody down that is, loyal in a sense that way. So, and again, this also is pretty telling about how the money is is also a factor. 6 years, 70 million LA is obviously equivalent to 6 years, 50 million in Connecticut.
That's interesting. So, Jimmy, I am gonna take the other side of this, right? Because I don't know. See, this is where I'm kind of torn, right? I totally get it's a business, but I also get that if you get hired at McDonald's for $15 an hour, you don't walk in on you have a great first week. Hey, Brent, great month. You're employee of the month. And then you come back the next Monday and go, all right, it's $20 an hour now. Sorry. I know I've only been here a week and I'm the employee of the week, but I'm raising. It's just, this isn't like, that's not how life works.
Business. It's a leverage. This is high stakes business, high leverage, and they're playing for big money bags. We're talking $50 million.
Now,
We're
now
talking
here,
generational money.
I am willing to have a gentleman's bet, Jimmy, that says he had a call. He was in LA flirting with the Lakers, and the phone rang, and Dan, we love you more. Come back to stores. We'll do 5 years of 50. That's the same, or 6 years 50. That's the same as 6 years 70 in LA. Okay, I'll come back, but but you can't tell anyone for like a month. You gotta just like hold this, and we'll announce it in like a month when everyone's forgot, like in the middle of the summer, like right after 4th of July. It's a perfect time. People won't be paying attention. They'll be drinking and eating hot dogs. They'll be watching the hot dog contest. That's what they'll be doing.
I love your Dan Hurley voice, by the way. That's the coolest decision making you'll ever have on 50 million. I doubt it went that way. I'm pretty sure he had some other conversations. And let's not discount that he is a family man, that he's won 2 championships there. It's a college town. It's the type of environment that it has a heavy hand in building that culture and taking over that culture. From previous regimes and leadership. So like it's pretty comfortable. They're making it pretty comfortable out there, and and it feels good when you have higher ups and high ranking officials, discussing your employment and guaranteeing that you'll be the top paid coach in the state of Connecticut. That's pretty strong.
Here's why I don't like it, Jimmy. It just eats at me the wrong way, because he signed a new contract. You had another good year, and you go do something like this to raise your value so you can go back and squeeze the guy who's been good to you. Like, it just doesn't feel right. No. That's what happened.
Okay,
So,
now if you're looking at it from that standpoint,
no. Wait, hold on a second. So it is just business. So next year, when he doesn't make the Elite Eight, does he get to get a renegotiation and get less money?
Sometimes. Rarely, but
Yeah,
sometimes
not
he
how it
would
works.
have to he would have to probably not make the tournament 2 years in a row, and then
Yeah,
they'll have a discussion.
yeah. Okay. So moving along from Dan Hurley to DeMar DeRozan. Here we go, Jimmy. I know you love some basketball
Oh, I
talk.
love
Let's go.
yeah, I
The
like him too.
Sacramento Kings acquired free agent guard DeMar DeRozan in a 3-year, $74 million, it's a pretty good contract, sign and trade deal, sources told ESPN. The Kings are trading forward Harrison Barnes, former Dallas Maverick, and an unprotected 2031 pick swap to the Spurs and guard Chris Duarte, 2 second-round picks in cash to the Bulls. So there's a lot going on here. It's a 3-team trade. So Jimmy, uh, DeRozan is a 6-time All-Star, but he does turn 35 before the season starts. But he's coming off an impressive 3-year run with the Bulls. He made the All-Star team twice, averaged 24 points. I'd say he still got it. He finished second to Steph Curry for the NBA's most clutch player, which I like to think of myself is the most clutch person on this show, Jimmy. That's what I like. I think, or did I finish second
You
and the most clutch
you
on the show? I think I
no,
did as
you are clutch, B.
well.
You
No,
are clutch.
I am like DeMar DeRozan. I was the
That's
second
right.
most
That's
clutch
right.
person on the show. So I like that. So Jimmy, tell me, the Kings finished ninth. They didn't make the playoffs. They lost in the playing game. Does this trade, does DeMar DeRozan make a difference, make them a contender, make them a playoff team? What do you think?
It's tough out there in the West, but I do think this pushes them the one spot further that they need to get into the playoff. Who drops out is the question. Um, DeMar DeRozan, after the past couple of years that he's had, I really believe that he still has a lot in his tank. You know, you look at the players of late, I think they're able to play longer into their careers because it's less physical. I think the way that they take care of themselves, take care of their bodies, their eating regimens, their workout regimens, allow them to have longer lasting careers. And I think he's on that track, especially after, you know, the kind of year that he's had. I think it's a great pick. He took a lot less money than he could have if he would have tried to get the veteran max. Um, in my opinion, close to probably 50% of what he could in a
Oh, really?
if he would have tested an open market. So him taking 25 million is a testament to how much he's committed to winning. So with that, I think he's motivated to get into the playoffs.
How many years do you think he has left, Jimmy, with the Kings? If he really, do you think he'll,
I think you
what
could
is this, a
squeeze a
3 year?
good 3 years out of him. I think you could get, you know,
He'll
a
earn
good
the 74 million, is what you're saying.
you said yes, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's and that contract, that's why it's a 3 years. I think, you know, just given the history and the age, um, you know, and kind of the litmus of the past of what, you know, players natural decline is or could be. So they look at a, you know, a 3-year term to, you know, to get it done. 1 year to for acclimation, 2 years to, you know, to really solidify that third year. Hopefully they got one or two.
So, Jimmy, I'm with you. I actually like this trade, and I'll answer the question and I'll say yes. I do think this makes them a playoff team. And here's why. It's got a kind of a young core like the
Mm-hmm.
Timberwolves,
Mm-hmm.
like the Thunder, right? They've got De'Aaron
Keegan.
Fox, they've got Keegan Murray, who's a young forward. I don't actually know who they got in the draft, um but the guy that they have the most that I love is the son of not your Vetus, not my Vetus, but our Vetus Sabonis.
Hey,
This guy is a beast, and he needs somebody to play. Now, Jimmy, how many people did we lose with the Your Venus, my Venus, our Venus. That
I
is
like that. That was
that
clever.
is a
It
ESPN
took me a little while to
Sports
figure out where
Center.
you was going. I think they came back. They may have nodded out, but I think they
That
fell back in.
that is a throwback. That is a
Absolutely.
way back.
He's a
See, we got
yeah.
another one.
He's one of the original European players that came over and kind of elevated and revolutionized the game in a sense.
Anyone in their mid 40s to early 50s that watch Sports Center knows that call. uh,
Arvidas Sabonis.
Arvidas Sabonis. That's right.
Yeah, his son
So
has a lot of game
his
like
son is
his
great.
dad. He's a
I mean,
little
his son
different
is
though.
great. His son is
Yeah.
great. I think his son is better than he was. I mean, he was a good player
Oh
and played a lot of
no.
years.
I
I
think he
know
has
it's
a
your
different
time.
opportunity
His son
to
is
show
great.
off his skill. I think he's in a better era to show off his skill,
It
but
is
his
a different.
father
That
might
is
have been
correct.
more, you know what I mean? His
This is
father might have been better.
that is
Actually, I
correct.
think his
His
father was
father
better.
was that European style before that European style was.
Yeah,
That's a fair
yeah,
point.
yeah. He was one of the guys that kind of came over and helped revolutionize
He was one of the
that
first.
power or the center position
Yeah,
to like a point center or
yeah, that
stretch
point
center.
center, and that was pre Dirk, right? That
Hmm.
was early. That was 90s, early mid
Yep,
90s.
yep. That left shrimp, uh, um, Marshallonis. Those guys were the top European guys in that era.
So, Jimmy, now we get to talk about Team USA, the red, white, and blue. I think you mentioned, did you play? You played for
Absolutely.
you played for
Yeah,
Team.
I was a scab. No, but what happened was
Yeah,
my
tell us
contract
about that.
expired in the NBA and the NBA had a lockout. So I was eligible to be a replacement for the players, for the NBA players. So we had a tryout in Chicago of all the top players not in the NBA and or didn't have an NBA contract at that time. And so we um we took over and ended up winning bronze and we had all the amenities they had, the plane, we had like a couch, a
Oh,
living
so
room,
you
a
got the
stripper
scab,
pole in the
you got the
middle.
full LeBron Jordan treatment.
Oh yeah, it
Oh,
was
I like
live. We got all the
that.
five
Is a good
star
story.
food, hotels, travel, everything.
That is a so Jimmy, what games was that in? When was that?
98, the 98 world games,
World Championships?
the world
Yeah.
championships in 98 in Greece.
And you got so you got a bronze medal.
Got a bronze medal. I'm gonna have to wear it for you one day.
No, you got to hang it behind you right back here. I
I
don't
don't like to show off like that, man. I have to think
know.
about that. That's the reason
Jimmy,
why. Look, I had these strong women in pictures behind me, right?
yeah,
This is they don't get enough love. The women in our lives, they don't get enough love. See,
I
that's my
understand,
grand
Jimmy.
aunt, that's my grandmama, that's my mama, and that's my niece right there.
I understand, Jimmy, but when you have a medal like that, that you can Jimmy, if I won a medal, bronze,
Of
silver,
course you
gold,
would be.
I would wear it
You
all the time. I would wear it to work every day. I would wear it to my kids' games. I would wear it in the house. I would wear it to go get the mail. I would wear that medal everywhere. In
You know
fact,
what?
Jimmy, if you
I
give
feel
me the
you. I
medal,
feel you.
I'll wear it
I
for
feel
you.
you. You know what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a gold chain, right? Gold Dookie rope chain, and then I'm gonna get a duplicate or replica of the bronze, but I'm gonna make it gold, and I'm gonna make it's gonna look like a rapper's medallion, right? Old school '80s hip hop, Eric B and Rakim, Flavor Flav medallion,
That
and
is
I'll wear it for you.
this, Jimmy. I love this story that you told about Team USA and your time on the team. These are the type we need more of these stories. This is great, and we'll pull this out as a separate clip. But let's talk about Team USA. Now the Paris Olympics are coming up. And so they're forming the team. They're all showing up. You got Steph, you got LeBron, you got Ant, you got AD, you got them all. You got all the top players. And so, they're practicing and they're interviewing the guys. And Anthony Edwards, the 22-year-old superstar for the Minnesota Timberwolves, was asked, you've got Curry, you got James, you got Durant. Who's the guy? He said, I'm the number one option. Y'all might look at it differently, but I'm the go-to guy. So, Jemmy, there's a lot of good players on Team USA. A lot. Is Ant Team USA's number one option in the clutch
What is he
in the Olympics?
supposed to say? I mean, as a coach, I love that. I love it. I love it. As a player, I love it. Because if and when it goes down, you don't have to worry about where his head is, right?
No,
Say for
you
instance,
want it.
and I'm just gonna give you a worst case scenario. Steph gets hurt or he's limited, or he fouls out, something, anything that he can't play the game, and you have a guy that's willing to, you know, step in case they're doubling LeBron, they're tripling KD, AD is having an off game, but you got that one guy who doesn't need the push. That one guy that when everything else fails, he steps up. And you know how I know you need that guy? Because I was that guy.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So I played the same role on Team USA.
I love it.
So
So,
you need dogs like that. And also like you know, if you look at the makeup of the team, he is the guy that you really gotta. He has the motor. The rest of those guys are a little older. They're going to play a different style of game. It's going to be a little more wide open, but you want a cat that's going to be able to get up and down and get you easy baskets at time too, and also going to be relentless on defense. That if the game gets out of hand or it slows down a little bit, you got a dog that want to eat. So I'll sick him on their number one guy, and then just let him work. So yes, he should say he's that guy.
Jimmy, you are rolling tonight. Now, I think we have some breaking news here because this is going to be all over the internet tomorrow. Is Jimmy King says he's the number one option on the
Of course,
2008
everybody knows that.
World
Any
Championship
ball
team.
player that's ever played with me know I'm the guy. Period.
Well, Jimmy, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'll just say that if there's 12 seconds left, Ant might be on the floor, but the ball is being inbounded to LeBron. All right, that's what I'm
Well,
going to say.
of course, LeBron is going to get it, and they're going to have LeBron play point guard. That's what
And,
he's there for.
and
So
he's going to try to create.
that's the best LeBron you're going to get. You
Yeah.
don't need clutch LeBron. You're not going to get clutch LeBron when you have Curry and you have KD. KD is actually going to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's well if he's healthy, because I heard he's been sitting out because of his ankle. But if he's healthy, nobody's stopping that guy. He's going to be the leading scorer on the team, and they're rolling. And don't
So,
forget about AD now. And then you got
dude,
and
dude,
because
they're loaded, dude.
Embiid is really going to open it up for him. Embiid is going to have AD like really being able to roam more. And vice versa for Embiid. They're going to be able to roll. I think the construction of this team is good as
Yeah.
long as
Here's the
they
thing.
keep their
There,
egos out the way.
I will solve this for everybody watching. I will tell you the number one option on the team. All of them. They're all the number one option. They're all studs. They're all going to
But it's
step
just going
on
to gel out when the
Lithuanian,
team,
Slovenian,
yeah, it's
guitar,
going
and
to
whoever the
sift
heck
out.
else is. What?
Absolutely. And you're going to see KD is going to emerge as that guy. Oh, and Kawhi now.
See,
Don't sleep
you
on
just keep
Kawhi.
naming guys. Like it's like
Well, I'm
there's
naming
so many
everybody.
great
Well,
players.
I ain't gonna
I
say
think
that.
Paul George is there too, isn't he? So,
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, Paul George.
yeah.
Paul
So
George. But the two leading scorers, in my opinion, if healthy, It's going to be KD or Kawhi.
All right, Jimmy. Well, talking about LeBron, we're going to move along to somebody who's not on Team USA, but has gotten some LeBron rub lately, and that's Bronny James Jr. He was the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft just a couple weeks ago. And he signed a multi-year guaranteed contract with the Lakers, daddy's team. The 4-year deal worth $7.9 million.
Good.
Now, I got to tell you something, Jimmy. The last number 55 picks in the draft didn't get 7.9 million buckaroos guaranteed. They got a $75,000 partially guaranteed. So, and that was Kyle Guy, Jay Scrubb, Aaron Wiggins, and Isaiah Wong all got two-way contracts. They didn't even get deals, guaranteed deals. Like this is absurd. This is obscene. So is Bronny getting the benefit of a little nepotism here, Jimmy? Or did he earn this?
Well, of course, he's getting the benefit of a little nepotism, but at the same time, he's earned some of it. And look at it this way, B. Look at it this way, okay? Bronny just broke the NBA jersey selling record.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know that.
he broke the rookie record, okay, for summer league jersey.
Wow.
So how you calculate that 7.9 is in what they look at as far as marketability and advertisement. So they're going to
Isn't
get
this what
that
I
money
told
back.
you? Isn't
Huh?
this what I told you when I said any team, like if I were the owner of, I don't know, some Idaho, well, there's no teams in Idaho, but I don't know,
There
Cleveland,
is the
I
Idaho
would go,
Stampede.
I would go hire this guy. I would have I would have drafted this guy if I was the Pistons GM, right? Just
Right,
because.
absolutely. Yes,
So
I would too. I
look,
would just as a just to have the eyes and attention on him, just like LeBron. It's advertising and marketing. This is a business. They're paying
look,
checks.
Jimmy, look, is he getting the benefit of nepotism?
Yes.
Yes. But is he getting the downside of nepotism, the negative?
Well,
Yes. He's got a lot of haters coming
that
after him.
comes with
He
it.
didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
He
that
just
comes with
got it
it.
because he's LeBron's son. He's really not that good. Look at this. He scored 4 points.
But
Blah, blah,
did
blah,
you
blah,
see
blah.
the
They're like,
interview?
oh,
Did you
oh,
see the interview that LeBron gave about Bronny?
yes, that he,
And and
yeah,
he's not like his father. He said that like, and when he came into the league, he needed to be accepted. He was worried about what people said. But he
Bronny
said
doesn't care.
Bronny don't care. Bronny doesn't care.
Well,
He
that's
don't
good
care.
because
Right. And that's why that if you like kind of watch and see how this is playing out, if he gets the training that he needs and he stays healthy and he doesn't have any heart issues, he could be a decent player. Like he's going to be in a position. We've seen players that weren't good who were lottery picks end up being decent players after 2-3 years of being in the league and learning and having the the privilege of the time to get better.
that's right.
They're going to incubate him. Like you see, he played one summer league game and then he sat out the next game. It's a summer league game, B. They're going to protect him. When
They
they see
do.
he went out there and tried for 4 points and 2 rebounds, yeah, they're gonna pull him back.
They did that to Wemby too. I mean, they do that to the guys that count.
But
So
that's what I'm saying. He
they
counts.
do. So, Jimmy, we've been heavy NBA today. This is our last NBA topic of the day. Now, I'm just going to tell you this question on the screen is not a misprint. our great production engineer, Nate, in the cave, thought that I made a mistake on this question. He clearly didn't read the article, but I will tell you what was said. Quote, people thought this was over in 2019, but 2022 was an amazing championship because we defied the odds. That's 11 years of almost 12 years of championship relevancy around a certain core. I don't think it will be replicated because it's very hard to keep things together in this league. Me, Clay, and Draymond, we complemented each other so well for so long. We all brought something different to the table. Records are meant to be broken. Dynasty comes in all shapes and sizes. So we'll see. That is Steph Curry suggesting that the Warriors could be the NBA's last dynasty. What do you say, Jimmy King?
Well, they're the last dynasty that's current. They're the most
That's
current
a
dynasty.
lame. That is
They
a
they
cop
will
out,
not be
King.
they will not be the last dynasty in the
Okay, that's
NBA.
better.
There are plenty of organizations and franchises that have, great uh people in the front office who know how to build a team and lead a team. And every now and then you'll catch lightning in a bottle and you'll get 3 guys, 4 guys, a group of guys that are committed enough to win consistently, out of a period of time. I believe we'll see that again. Well, which team we don't know, but you can say, I mean, Denver won a couple in a short amount of time.
Denver's not putting it together for 12 years though. And I think that's
But
what
is a
that's what
dynasty 2 out of
Steph's
3 years? Is a dynasty 3 out of 5 years? Is a
I think
dynasty
dynasty is 10 plus years of just dominating, right? So that's but there's you're right, there's no definition. As he said, they come in all different states. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say I actually agree with him in the short term, but I'm gonna say no, they're not the NBA's last dynasty. And here's why. Even though it would be more difficult because of free agency, because of large contracts, because of the salary cap, because of all these reasons that make it difficult, I'm going to point to another sport to explain why. In the NFL, free agency destroyed dynasties. And for the longest time, people said the Steelers are the last dynasty, the 49ers of the 80s, the Cowboys of the early 90s. Those are going to be the last dynasties because free agency ruins it. All right. And what happened?
you
A
got Kansas
very
City,
special group of people came
you
along.
got New England.
A very special, very once in a lifetime group of people came along that could create a structure in a team and keep reloading. Just keep reloading. 3 years, new group. 3 years, new offense. 3 years, new offense. New group, new defense. New defensive coordinator. New offensive coordinator. And they did that for 20 years around Tom Brady. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady built a team. Now, so it can be done. That is incredibly difficult and requires you to find a guy like a Luka Doncic, like a LeBron James, and keep him there. 1, 2, you have to be able to keep building around that guy. And that's harder
Mhm.
in the NBA than it is in the NFL. But you got to keep
I
recycling. You got to bring in Khyree for 3 years. Then you got to bring in the next guy. Then you got to bring in Ant for 3 years to play with Doncic. Then you got to bring in the next guy. And you got to bring in the guy. Keep doing that for 20 years, and then maybe you'll have a dynasty. So it will happen, but it's a lot harder. Steph is right about that. So, Jimmy, we are going to move along to our last topic for the show, and this is actually a sad one. So it's the first time I've never put a question mark at the end of it's I hope that's not a question mark you put at the end there, Nate, because it wasn't meant to be. This is the first time we're not asking a question in the show because it's very sad what happened. Early Saturday, Vikings cornerback Khyree Jackson died in a automotive accident in Maryland. He was only 24 years old. Jackson, who played college football in Alabama and then Oregon, was a fourth round pick of the Vikings in April. He was the front seat passenger in a car with two other men. 23-year-old Isaiah Hazel was driving, and 24-year-old Anthony Litton Jr. was in the back seat. So basically, what happened was, Jimmy, they were rolling down the road, and somebody in an Affinity was speeding and had been drinking and was swerving in out of lanes and caught the rear of their car, and they spun off the road and went into the tree, and they lost their lives. They did not do anything wrong. They were not being knuckleheads. They were not partying. They were just regular passengers on a road, no different than if Brent and Jimmy were driving down the tollway. That's it. And they got hit by somebody that was intoxicated and was speeding. And they're all three of those guys went to the same high school together in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And their coach said, I love them, and I wish I could say it to them one more time. The legacy of those guys is going to live on forever. They all played college football at the Division I level. It's incredibly sad. There's no question here. Thoughts, Jimmy, on this tragedy, and just, how do we move forward with these type of things?
Well, obviously, thoughts and prayers to the family who lost their loved one, their son, their brother, cousin, friend, at such a young age, and with seemingly such promise in his life, and reaching his dream or part of his dream and goal of getting to the NFL. But what this does teach you is that life is fragile and that we should enjoy every day that's given to us, and that's why we hear the term about being present in the moment, and because this life is a gift and it can be taken at any time. There's no rhyme and reason to it. There's nothing that we can really point to and say, oh, this is why it should happen. um God works in mysterious ways, and I think that when you ask, how do you move forward, is really remembering the guys, the young guys, as teammates and in the sport that they love, and create a scholarship that will, kind of combat drunk driving or hit and run victims that will benefit kids in their area.
Yeah, this is hard for me. It's hard for me a couple different reasons. One, I have a young child, right, who plays sports, and I can't even imagine, like, you spend so much time, you accomplish your goal to go to the NFL, and then you die because some moron was drinking and driving, right? It's horrible. I can't imagine how the family feels, right? These other gentlemen that were with him, they had played together, they grew up together. um and then the other thing that strikes me is, how in the hell do we still have drunk driving when we have Uber? This must make this makes zero sense to me. How or why are people still driving drunk when we have Uber? It's on your phone. This isn't even like the old days where you had to have the bartender
And you have to wait,
call the
and
cab and you had
hopefully
to
there's
wait for the cab.
availability. Yeah, you could get a call, you could take Uber, you could take Lyft, and there's still taxi cabs you could call that will come get you. There's all types of
There is
services.
a million different options that you have. A million. There was a million different options 20 years ago, but there's a million different options right now that you don't need to ruin. And it doesn't look, Jimmy, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that these guys are football players or that they were Division One athletes. It's sad because of that. But it would have been sad if it was just a regular family down the street that this happened to.
Absolutely.
These things don't need to happen. They don't. They are preventable.
And I
And
think that's why, it's like you just mentioned, you just shine the light on that. It happens or has happened so often that the only time, or it seems the only time that we really discuss it or it's brought up is when it happens to someone that's in the public eye.
that's right.
And
It
that's
probably
why the
happens a
legacy
lot
has to
more than
be.
you it probably
Yeah.
happens far more than you and I can imagine. I bet if we had the stats, we would be appalled,
Yeah.
right? But I think that what we can do as people on a show, and that what the family can do and other people is, this is our opportunity to say to somebody watching, don't be an idiot. If you've been drinking, get a ride, call an Uber, have the somebody will pay for your Uber. I'm almost certain if you don't want to pay for it. You could probably go up to 10 strangers in a bar and 8 would pay for your Uber. I'm almost betting it. Like, don't be an idiot. That's the lesson for today's show. All right, Jimmy. Sorry to end on a sober note, but I think there's topics that
No,
need to
that's a
be
great
discussed.
message.
It's
That's a great
important.
message.
I mean,
Needs to
people
be
need to
heard.
hear the news. Yeah. Jimmy, I know that was somber, so we will say, do you have a last word? Would you like to end on anything else about the
Absolutely. We're going to end on an uptick, right? So
Hmm.
last thing, my last word of the day for today's show is I hope that Bronny gets a chance to grow into who he wants to be and who he envisions himself as being as a player. And I hope that all the things, all the negativity and hate that's driven his way fuels him to become a much more resilient person for it. And so it's the old adage of turning lemons into lemonade. It doesn't matter what people say about you, what people think about you. You just keep pushing and striving, and don't look back, because that's just his first contract. He's trying to get his third contract. That's when you really get paid.
Yeah, Dad has made $500 million on
And he
NBA.
set him up for a pension.
7.9 million is nothing. Dad is laughing.
Well, he set
Ha
him up
ha
for a
ha
pension.
ha
He
ha.
got 3 years. Yeah.
Your 7.9 million is like a percent of my tax, right? Like you got
But if
nothing,
you pay
Johnny.
attention,
Work, bro.
it
The
works
work.
out perfectly. This is why I applaud LeBron too. LeBron took a 2-year deal, right? Where he could have took the max, but he took a 2-year deal worth 104. So that's 52 a year when he could have got 63, right? So
I
or
thought they said he
yeah,
was going to take
63.
30.
So the difference, or 53, whatever, something
Yeah,
like that. But the difference between his contract and the max that he could have got versus the years is the same amount that Bronny signed for. So LeBron took $8 million less a year for Bronny to sign for 4 years.
gotcha. So he traded a bit of his contract for his
Yeah.
son's
He's
contract.
like, okay, I'll give you 2 years
That's
and
why
then
the
give
Lakers.
Bronny 4, right? Because those are those extra 2 years for his max contract.
There you go. Well, that's smart, I guess. Dad gave a little bit to son. There you go. All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's the end of
listen,
our.
that's why they signed him that first morning, the next morning for 4 years, 7.9 million.
That's right. That's right. Because they worked it together. What's his name? Rich Paul made a double
Yeah.
deal. All right, Jimmy. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank
Thank
you
you, my
for
brother.
watching and sticking with us. Have a great day. Good night. Peace.
Peace.